What if I said that you didn't go viral, but you have only 100 fish in your pond, but every single person wants to buy from you? What's more valuable to you? That depends on you. That depends on what you think is more valuable. Is it, I want the 100,000 followers, regardless, I will go viral no matter what? Or is it, I would rather have the 20,000 followers who are my targeted audience, who really want to buy from me, or my powerful community who will grow and support no matter what, and I'm willing to grow slow, or even 5,000. It's really up to you.
Thank you so much, Shar. So, Shar Modell, the social media queen, who is worldly renowned because of the stuff that she has done. You are the queen behind the people we see on social media.
Thank you. I mean, that's quite a thing to follow. I appreciate that. I think I do well. I think I do good. Maybe I'm not quite to queen status, but I'm working my way there.
You are. I am Queen Modell.
I'll take it.
Yes. So just thank you for coming today. So just a few questions. Like, how did you get started? Like, I know a lot of us business owners want to be on social media. We want to create this brand, but we don't know where to get started.
It was a hobby. Honestly, it was an outlet. Like, I didn't know it was going to progress into this. It really started out as me I was managing accounts. People started asking me to manage them because I was doing it as a hobby. And they were like, oh, can you help me with this? And it was like a favor. And then it turned into business because then somebody had asked me to manage their account. And it was like, I started out with like med spas. And then I did a supply shop, which is now not open since 2020. But I started out with them and I was coaching their groups on how to use their Instagram platform to sell, because these people would buy the clothing and then they wouldn't know how to use social media to sell it as a whole. They bought it from the wholesaler. So it really went from that, started from there. Actually, even back to like Twitter. I remember posting stuff on Twitter for the nightclubs. We would get asked to come out and they asked us to do social media blasts. And there was like, Instagram just started. So I'd started there. I mean, it goes for years. And then, but really where it progressed is when I took on a few like coaches, and then things like changed from there. And I realized that like the personal branding aspect was very different than like managing people that were like just business owners or brands, you know.
So can we make money on social media?
Yeah, I mean, you know that.
Yes, absolutely, right?
Yeah, we can make money on social media. That's the thing too, is that the hobby turned into a business. And I really loved it because it gave me, one, I was able to work from home, which it just gave me creative control in order to come in, give them my vision. And then, and so the money's there. And really in the last, decade, it's been, I think it's skyrocketed, like the amount of money that you can make online. And there's way more millionaires now that have made more money online. Things have changed. And so people are taking it way more seriously than they had even like 5 years ago.
So is it all about opportunity or learning or just doing it?
I think it's a mix. And it just depends for each person. Like maybe there's an opportunity and you didn't even know that you wanted it and it was presented to you and then you took it. And then that was kind of what happened to me. I had an opportunity to manage somebody and then I took it before I was ready. But then you have people who kind of chase it and then they learn it as well. So I think it's presented in different ways. Like whether it's an open door that just happened organically or whether you're knocking that door down, honestly, like anybody can make money online. There's just a matter of figuring out, like, how do you want to use this platform so it benefits you? Like, how can you bring what you do best to help other people in a way that they understand it easily and then monetize that? Because where people get stuck is they try to figure out, how can I monetize this thing so it makes sense? And we typically overcomplicate things. We think people need to know everything, when really if we start out with like the simple, like one simple thing to focus on and teach them how to do that, you can always add to it later. You can always do like, maybe it's a course or a mastermind, but like you want to keep it simple because people's attention spans are short. So the people who really dominate social media are the people who can deliver content and the things that their knowledge in really simple, understandable ways. Otherwise, people get overwhelmed and they never do it.
Oh, that was amazing. You just dropped a whole bunch of gems. So keep it simple and consistent.
And niche down.
Niche down.
It's the new generation is excellent at this. They go, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to become an expert of, let's just say, a personal brand expert. And then I'm going to teach people how to launch personal brand. And then they go in and then they do Instagram, personal brand on Instagram. Let me just give you an example of something that I do. And that's all I do. Now, people like me or who have had years of experience where we've worn multiple hats, we struggle. Sometimes having more knowledge and more experience can really stall you from growing because you feel like you have to throw everything in the kitchen sink into whatever you're doing for it to be valuable. Why? Because you know so much. So rather than somebody going the simple route and being like, no, this is the one thing, this is the one idea that I'm delivering on, I'm going to teach you this, and then make it simple, doable, actionable, and they make their money. We go, oh, I need to teach you how to like do this, and I need to teach you like how to, okay, but like how you build a team in order to support your personal brand, or and we go too far and we go too wide, and people go, I'm going to pick that course over here, that mastermind that seems like something I could actually do, rather than the person who's been in it for 15, 20, even if it's somebody who's been in it for 15, 20 years, because whatever they're giving me seems overwhelming and it doesn't seem like something I can accomplish. So like those kids, the ones that are young, that are up and coming, they dominate because they keep it simple because they don't know how to do everything else. And then you're like, got the people that are experts and they're going, scratching their head and they're going, why would you buy from a 21-year-old who just launched a course? I'm giving you all of this knowledge. And we're like, yeah, but that doesn't seem relatable to me. Also just seems like overwhelming. And I'm a busy person. I don't have time for that. I just want the simple. What's easy right now?
Damn, Shar, you just dropped it down. Like, give us your stuff so they can follow you and they can like link with you.
Yeah, so Brand Social Consulting is my business page. Shar Modell is my personal page, although I kind of cross-promote a little bit on both. And I am, and I'll tell you about a little bit my course in a little bit, but I'll, drop some knowledge there. But that's a good place to start.
Give us like something amazing that you've learned from your clients or personal. Like what has been like a testimony or like what have you learned working with influencers, business owners, or just being in network events? Like what's a hot tip for the people watching us?
Everything you do, document it, do it once. And meaning like create a loom, create a playbook for it, because the time wasted, even as a personal brand, like you're an expert, you're a coach, and you're going, I want it to launch on social media. Cool. I want to do this thing. Okay. So as you're writing out like your passwords or the things that you do repeatedly, messages that you send out, emails that need to go out, write it down, like all of these processes now, because where you're going to get stuck when you're hiring a team is I wish I had written it down because now I'm spending my time repeating myself. And if there's high turnover, then you have to repeat yourself again and train somebody new. So I think, honestly, the two high level, and I've learned from two people that I worked with personally, Men of Action team. I'm still the content director over there. And I've taken a lot of, what I've learned from them over to my personal team. I have my own team that I manage as well. There's like 20 plus probably on this one going now, and there's 6, 7 on mine. And it's just that, like, if you're going to do it, create a loom and then save it and then share it. So that way you only have to do it once, everything you do. We waste so much time repeating ourselves and training new people on things that we want that we don't have time to do the things that we're trying to actually do. So like creating the content, for example, if I said, Sonia, you're like, I want to launch a personal brand. I want to be the expert in my industry. And then you find yourself like, and I'm like, hey, can you help us get a connect to your Facebook? And then you're like, oh, I don't know my passcode. Let me dig for it. And then you dig for it. And then you need a code. And then you realize you don't have the code. And then you don't know the phone number. And then you don't know the email. Now you've wasted a whole day just trying to get somebody into that account. Now you could create a loom. Hey, I know that this is where it's going to go. And this is, how we get it. And this is where we keep our passwords that are safe, and then be done with that. I know when I'm creating content that I like this style, I want it to be edited like this. And then you save the process for that. And like having examples will shortcut your time. I just cannot tell you how much time people waste on things like that. And then they fail to get the work done that really matters to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just hit it right on the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what I do is we save like a Google document or something and create like headers. And then I just start putting out like all of these processes for the content. That way I can give it to my editor and then they can search for it and they're like, how to edit this, how to edit that. And then they have like their playbook for it. And I can always easily update it, but then I'm not repeating myself every day because like building a personal brand takes a team. And I think people don't realize the amount of investing that goes involved into it until they get into it. And then it's like, wow, I didn't know it was going to take this much work.
That's amazing, especially for like a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs or people that want to get into this field of social media. We look at others that are successful. We look at their stuff. Like I started this whole thing trying to learn how to make a reel. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I was like, help me, please. And I know there's so many other entrepreneurs that are in the same boat. And just by you saying, save your logins, save your passwords, efficiency. It's something that we're such busy people that we don't even think of that stuff. But now we're building a team. We're building this big rock, this mountain. So the people at the apex, at the top of their game, they have a system.
Yeah. Treat it like a business.
Yes.
You want to grow on social media, then treat it like a business. Invest in it like a business. If you don't, you're not going to win in this game because then you're not putting enough time and energy. You're not taking it seriously. It is a business. Yeah.
So you're not just going to get lucky. Like, you're not just like, oh, I made a reel and it went viral and everybody's going to know me and I'm going to like get sponsored by all these people and Instagram's going to start paying me. Ching, ching, ching. No, it doesn't work like that.
Because it seemingly has for some.
Got it.
People want that. So they go in and they go, I want to be the person who got famous off a tape. I want to be the Kim Kardashian. I want to be the girl that got on TikTok and got 8 million views and then ended up getting opportunities and signed. And then they go into it like that. And they don't see the journey that it takes to really get there. And when I work with clients, I'm very transparent about the fact that like this is an investment. And unless you're willing to invest and wait for the results to like happen, like it takes time. And I cannot tell you when you will go viral or have your growth spurt. I can tell you how to get there and that it'll happen, but I can't tell you that timetable. Like a lot of us, I was like working with Coach Ju and we were having this discussion as just like colleagues. And I said, what do you tell your clients? Because like everybody wants to wake up famous and then they're frustrated with their team members when they're not. They put in very little effort. They'll go, oh, I filmed the content and then I handed it over to my team and they expect fame to happen. They have no interaction with their community. They're not present on their channels. They're just like waiting as if they just put some money into something for it to just turn into gold. It doesn't work like that. The people that honestly do make it, some of them, like I said, have made it fast, but that's not the majority. The majority, you'll go back and you'll look and you'll see like that YouTuber who has been on since 2014, who finally went over to TikTok, then Instagram and found their people and then something took off. Looks like they just took off. You don't get to see what's on the back end. You don't see the iceberg. And so, but I'm a realist about it. I said, hey, what do you do with your clients? Because they have these unrealistic expectations. Everybody's talking about going viral. And he's like, I tell him the truth that it can take 3 to 6 months is really where you just start to see real growth. And so everyone out there who's selling that whole go viral fast, like they're the ones winning people over. Faceless marketing right now, everybody getting rich fast. They're the ones winning people now. Everybody wants it to be fast. And then there's very few that actually, there's some that do. They're the ones at the top. They're the ones selling to you, the pipe dream. And then there's a few, and then they'll show you the most viral videos from their clients. And then you'll look at the rest of the content and then you'll go, well, the rest of it's not viral. And it's just, everybody positions themselves by showing their best. And you have to do digging to really see what's there. Because of course we're going to show our best. All of us is going to show you our best testimonials and our best work. But they're not going to tell you about the fact that it like took how many different clients in order to get there. Maybe there's 200 people behind them before they got the person that got that viral reel. So I just think that there needs to be like this reality check that like, if you really want this thing to grow and you want it to have an impact, you have to be willing to give it time to grow just like you would anything else. Otherwise, you're the guy that's the day trader, constantly pulling out your stock every time you see things go up and down. You're not willing to put in anything that's like worth an investment. You're like up and down with the waves of things changing, and they're like, no, I'm not getting the results I want. I'm going to pull out all my money and all my investing now. The people that stick it through figure it out, but it takes time. You know?
Well, that's amazing. And I know you've worked with some of the big names. If you want to share, go ahead. If not, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I worked with Cody Sanchez for 18 months, and then I was the first social media manager for her account that grew it. And then, which I saw her recently, and that was awesome. She's speaking at an event, and it was just one of those experiences where, and I tell a story before, but I met her on we were on paddleboard, so we had just met, and we were hanging out by ourselves. I didn't know who she was, and then I remember hearing her story, and I was just like, "You're gonna be famous." I said, "How are you not you're the next Gary Vaynerchuk?" I just kept saying you need to be famous, and then and I didn't mean it in that way of she was desiring fame. I meant it because the stuff that she'd accomplished, I knew would be so powerful to like other women who would hear that story. I was like, they needed, like, this needs to be told. This is crazy, the amount of stuff that you've done. And you're not even like, other people have done less and they're being recognized. And it happened, and I got to be part of that team. And then, and so I do give her a lot of credit because she's, she's shifted business my way, and it's been amazing to have worked with her. And just like I said, but had I gone in and I've been like, if she'd given up quick, she would have never grown to what she was doing. And so they're like, oh, I want to be Cody Sanchez, Shar. And then I'm like, do you have what it takes to be her? Do you know how much time that she put into that? Do you know that she was in with our team and we met several times a week, every single day? We all gave, like entire days. Like it was like 10, 12-hour shifts for a lot of us. Like I'm not gonna paint it differently. We invested a lot of time for our role. We all did. We were all in this like mastermind of an experience, willing to give our all for this to take off, and we did. And a lot of us came out of that with our own businesses, like because we were able to build a business from that experience. Not just because of her, but because of what we learned launching somebody like that on multiple platforms. And then Michael Sartain's another person here locally that I work with, and I grew him as well. And then there's other people I'm working with that are growing. But the things that they had differently and why I was able to skyrocket them quicker, I think Cody had already posted maybe 1,000 times.
Yes, it's so interesting. I was just telling Dominic, it was so funny because I knew I had that in my head where I told him, I shared this with him. I said, Dominic, I heard somewhere that you have to post 1,000 times before you get seen. He goes, that's crazy. He's like, I haven't posted that many. I mean, he got lucky. He was on Joe Rogan. Yeah. They announced his name there. So that was something also, but yes, that is true. 1,000 videos or 1,000 posts.
But if I tell you, Sonia, that your dream business, everything that you want, you will get there, but it's going to take you 2,500 posts. Are you going to say yes if you know by the end that you're going to get everything you want?
Yes.
Okay, and then if somebody else goes, I didn't get it at post 120, and I'm like, get the fuck out. Like, because you stopped too early. They want the guarantee. People want the guarantee, and they don't want to put in the work, and they missed out on those opportunities. It's not for you then. It's not for you. Because just like any other business you're starting, you quit too early. And it's just, then the game isn't for you. You're not down for the social media thing. It's not for you. It's only for the people who, like I said, if you're going to give up on day 120 with your business, then don't fucking start the business. You're wasting everybody's time, and you're wasting your time. So I really like urge people, and I'm real about it, about like, this is the reality. You might explode tomorrow. But the difference is too, when you go viral fast and you have something to sell, then you end up pulling in a larger pool of audience. Yes. So then, like, imagine if it's a pond full of fish. Now it's like, this is great. My pond is full of fish. And then you only find 10 people that want to buy from you because the piece of content that you went viral on wasn't your target audience. What if I said that you didn't go viral, but you have only 100 fish in your pond, but every single person wants to buy from you? What's more valuable to you? That depends on you. That depends on what you think is more valuable. Is it, I want the 100,000 followers, regardless, I will go viral no matter what? Or is it, I would rather have the 20,000 followers who are my targeted audience, who really want to buy from me, or my powerful community who will grow and support no matter what, and I'm willing to grow slow, or even 5,000. It's really up to you. The clients I take on aren't the ones that just want to go viral. They really want the targeted audience, but they do understand the viral component matters, but it's not the only thing. It's positioning yourself as being an expert to get the opportunities early, being able to sell right away to an audience because you've built that trust with your community. You're not just putting out viral crap to be seen. It's like, I know I'm a powerful expert, so I'm going to put out the content for what my goals are, and that's to actually sell something and support my community and for impact. And they don't care as much about going viral, but they're going to integrate viral strategies in hopes that they will along the way.
Amazing. Yeah. Wow, that was powerful. I can see your passion.
That's my course.
It's coming through.
No, but that's why I knew, like, it took me forever. I knew I wanted to do a course forever, and I held off because everybody was selling courses about virality or just selling online, or mostly like these two avenues. And I was like, it's really not quite it yet for me because I looked at who the clients I take on. So I have a program. I don't even know if you know this, if I've ever told you. I have a program called Personal Brand Launch. And I've never advertised it. It's been going on for 4 years by referral only. I only take some people, like a couple people in at a time. I had up to 5, and right now I'm like, okay, only 3 at a time. And my team comes in, and we basically go, we combine teams. So you go, Sonia, you're like, Shar, I'm ready to launch my personal brand. And my team comes in, and we help you launch the personal brand in 90 days. Now, doesn't mean you're going to be famous in 90 days, but I'm going to give you everything you need to build a 7-figure team and teach you all the strategies and get your personal brand foundation in place so that way you have the tools to succeed. Not just I relied on somebody and pay them 6 figures and I have to continue to rely on them and I can't do it myself. But I understand content strategy and I know how to do the thing, even if it means doing different types of testing to see on hooks and things that to get something to take off, like how to make it work. But we come in and we like do it, it's minimum 90 days. So from that I go, okay, I've been doing this thing for a minute. I've been doing this personal launch program. What is it that my clients want and that people are wanting? And they're wanting that knowledge, but they can't necessarily afford the program. My course is called Reels Revolution, and it's how to become an expert in 7 days. Now, you're already an expert, but it's positioning yourself to be an expert online. And so this is a common theme. It's like, I'm already successful and I do what I do and I don't know how to make it make sense. And I don't know what content I need and I don't even know where to begin. And so that's really what I was solving there is, yes, there's included viral strategies, but it's really about how to build a community, how to grow a following, and how to sell. And it's all in one in a very simple, actionable course for people who don't have time or want to give it to their social media manager. Hey, learn this and then get back to me. So that's how
This is amazing, Shar.
Yeah.
Thank you so much because I feel, especially me personally, that I want to do it all. I want to do my social media. I got this. I'm going to do my reels. I'm going to do my posts. Does that work?
I mean, you, like when you say you, what do you mean by that?
Me personally.
No, you should not be doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, think about how much your highest client pays you. Like
Okay.
how much is that an hour? Let's just say, let me just throw out a number. Let me say that you make $150 an hour, okay? And then you're spending what you could pay somebody overseas $6 to $8 an hour to do reels. You're spending that $150 of hours that you have on creating reels. Like you're losing money.
So you need a team to do this.
You want a team to do this.
So people that get online and like, oh, I want to do reels and I want to be funny and there's no strategy. So what we're getting down to this is just, it's a system. So what I love to do, and the reason I started this whole journey that I got involved in is because I love systems. I feel that I can't work without a system. And I think that's what has created some of my success within fitness, relationship, my business, everything that you do. And I see like sometimes like social media can be like a vague veil. We're on there, we're scrolling, we're looking at other people. We want that. We want that lifestyle. I want that. But yet I want to do it and it's not working.
Yeah.
And I'm wasting time. And I'm not being present. So we can take off that veil for many people and say, hey, this is a system.
Yeah. I think that the best creators, and they're not, I specialize with entrepreneurs and experts. There's other ways that people do things. We have people that just post out viral funny clips and they make a lot of money at it. And then there's the content creators that like travel or whatever. And I started out, and I still do some content you'll see on my personal. And there is a lot of pathways. You just need to stick to one that makes sense where you can get it done the best, following somebody who is already successful. And so what I'm saying today won't suit everybody, right? It's not going to suit the lifestyle creator, but it's going to suit the entrepreneur who's trying to figure out how to build a platform online. And somebody sitting here that's a lifestyle creator may tell you, oh, post all of these things like the same. It's like very different. It'll be just like 6 reels in a row of you twirling in different dresses or whatever, and it might take off. And that's good. You found somebody who you resonated with. You really loved what they were putting out. Now look at what they did to get there to be successful. So if you're watching me today and you're like, I'm a coach or I'm an expert, then listen to what I'm saying. And then look for the people who you can emulate, like who you can copy and then make it your own. Because there's nothing really original out there. You just find it and then you go, I'm inspired by that and I'm going to recreate it in a different way. But you can learn a lot from just following and copying what other people are doing and making it your own.
But just to be back to square one, there is a system. I'm just trying to share this, like as an entrepreneur, because I feel like, we want this so bad, but if we burn ourselves out by trying to do it all ourselves, that's not realistic.
No, you shouldn't, because it's like, if like whatever you're doing something online, you're best at doing that thing, the filming, whatever. Actually, it might be, you might be better at video editing. I don't know. But you want to figure out where you're making the most impact for your time, and spend your time there. And then you want to outsource the rest, no matter who you are. Because again, if you're making over $25 an hour, you could be doing more tasks, more things that could make you more money, more stuff in your area of expertise, while you hand it off to somebody else who's doing the stuff that's maybe less an hour. But for them, they're the expert of that. They're the expert person at posting or creating the reels. They're the expert person at looking at how to create those captions and reach the targeted audience. They're good at engaging for you and helping you on that, or doing a community manager. And so it's all about finding the right team members in order for you to be successful in anything, really.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so true. So what about just to break, I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are very successful and they are shy in camera.
Yeah.
What's some tips for that?
Get on camera.
So get on camera.
No, I'm serious, but like people want to just feel good doing something. And then I think about how awkward everything feels in the beginning, whether you're putting on your first set of rollerblades or whether you're in your first, heels walking. You don't just get to learn how to do things right off bat. You have to keep doing it repeatedly. And on camera in the beginning, everyone listening to this, I don't know where all the cameras are. Okay. You will feel so stupid, and then you will notice everything. I didn't know my face looked like that. I didn't know I smiled like that. I didn't know I made those expressions. I didn't know I had that wrinkle on my face. I didn't know my hair was out of place. I didn't know I had that fat roll. You'll pick yourself apart in the beginning, and then later you get on there so much, and then you're just like callous to it. You're just like, it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
We're human.
Yes.
And it's like, it's so much more appreciated by your audience to see you human. Even if you get some haters that pick you apart, who cares? But your community will appreciate that realness. Everything's so edited and overdone and aesthetic. And it's nice sometimes to just see people being humans, because at the end of the day, that's what we are. And it's more relatable. And so you not being perfect on camera in the beginning, who cares? Get on camera more. Take every opportunity you can to go on podcasts, speak on panels, at home, film those reels, and eventually you will get comfortable because you get used to seeing yourself and you're like, okay, I'm on camera. This is how I look, and I'm getting used to it. And I think we all have to kind of go through that in the beginning. And it's like, even now, you're like your new podcast, it's going to feel weird seeing yourself, and you'll just be like, I didn't know I did that. I did an entire podcast, and the lights were really bright on me, and my eyes were super wide, and I was like, man, I didn't know I did that. And then I just let it go, and I'm like, whatever, because look, I probably look terrible on a lot of podcasts. I don't care, but I'm here to send my message, and that to me matters more. And I'll look my best the best that I can, but I'm not going to pick myself apart because I'm not perfect. And that's how I tell my entrepreneurs, practice and then let it go, because what you're doing matters way more than how you look.
Amazing. That's so true. That's the reason why I decided to make this shift from not being in the dark and being the light, and sharing my experience as an entrepreneur and what I want to give back, and me investing in a team, investing in all of this, because to me it's an investment.
Yeah.
And the opportunity that I get to have a lot of amazing friends that are just a dial away is amazing. And why not share that with everybody that wants to listen to the message? Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's always been my mantra of success. I admire people. I love Layla Hermosi. I always reach out to her, and she always replies back. I don't know if it's her or not, but I'm always putting it out there. Why? Because like you said, find somebody that you admire. I admire her. Why? She has a business. She's married. She shares her failures. She shows, how to manage as a team. And I can relate to her and learn and take snippets of her and Alex, and they're just really they seem down to earth. And I love how they just are open about it. There's no gatekeeping.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think a lot of other people struggle too in the beginning, and not just seeing themselves on camera, but they aspire to be like somebody else. And then they're like, should I even be doing this? They do it so much better. And I think about the humans that you would reach that I can't reach.
Exactly.
And how much your community needs you, and how sad it would be if you went, I'm not Layla, so I'm not going to do this thing because I'm not going to be as good as her. And then you quit. And then all of those people who needed to hear it from you can be the same message. You know, I have people want to hire me. Oh, but there's so many people doing this thing in the real estate game. There's so many people doing what I do already. And I go, I don't care. And you know why? Because somebody needs to hear it from you. And I think about the time that you sat across from a friend and maybe you've heard over and over again, you're like, somebody goes, you need to do this, Sonia, you need to do this. And you're like, yeah. And then you're not receptive to it. And then your friend gives you advice, somebody that it hits home. You were ready and open to receive the message and it hit home then, and you needed to hear it from them. It wasn't the message that necessarily was so profound. It was the fact that it came from that person that you already connected to and it changed you. And then you suddenly go, wow, I believe in myself and what I'm doing. Now I'm ready to do this thing. I just needed to hear it from you. Didn't need to hear it from Alex Hermosi, Layla Hermosi, the Cody Sanchez is out there. I needed to hear it from this person. And that's the way it is with personal branding and being an expert in your arena. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the most followers. It just means that your community can actually find you the ones that need to hear it from you, and you will have an impact on them. And it doesn't matter that it seems saturated because nobody will be able to reach your community like you will.
Wow, thank you, Shar.
Yeah.
You're so good at this. You're like, I've seen your transformation, and I'm all about mindset. How important is mindset in all of this game?
To me, it's sort of like it's the foundation that I actually don't think about as much anymore. And let me tell you why. And this is probably would be like a shocking thing to like the mindset community. I started out really obsessed with mindset, and I needed it during a time when my life wasn't really manifesting the things that I really wanted. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't like living out any of the things that I had hoped for. I was really struggling. So for me, in that time, mindset was so important for me because my environment wasn't reflective of what I wanted. Now, as things come into my environment and they're reflecting more and more of what I want, I spend more time doing the work and figuring out the strategies to do and get to the next level. And I actually have less time to work on the mindset. And I think the mindset for me is more peace of mind, is unplugging, than it is for other people. It might be like getting in the zone or whatever. And for me, it's literally unplug. You know what's good for my mindset? I want to watch junk reality TV sometimes at home, and that's my unplug. And it's not as spiritual and woo-woo as exciting. It's just that my brain is picked apart every single day by stuff like with this many team members that I'm overseeing and 2 companies. And I don't have the bandwidth for me to be like, I'm going to go to yoga today. I work out in the gym every single day, but for me, it wouldn't work for me. For me, the unplug is laughing at silly stuff at night on TV. And that helps me reset. That helps my mindset because I'm able to suddenly totally unplug. Now, if you put me in the corner and you're like, Shar, unplug and then meditate on this thing, I know for me that like, yeah, I could probably do it a little bit. And I do that when I'm working out. But to just sit there would drive me a little crazy, and I've tried, and it's not as good for me. I start thinking about everything I need to do, and it's just like, I think instead of forcing us into what we think is supposed to be like mindset shifts, like this is what I need to do to be, like figure out what works for you, and it's not the same for everybody. Like going for a walk at night for me, movement helps my mindset for me, not just being still and sitting, just transparently.
That's amazing. So do you feel like energy that people can we transmute our energy to our videos, to our reels?
Yeah, I think so. But that's where you like want to be. The whole mindset might be like warming yourself up for what you're about to say. So I do think if you give yourself take 5 before you film, and imagine like your community like receiving what you're about to say. I think that's so powerful because it's putting you in the shoes of the person who really needs it. And so there are things that you can do before you film where you're like, rather than obsess over how you're going to look or if you're going to say it right or be perfect, think about the impact it's going to have on somebody else. Teaching them how to be financially stable, huge. Like teaching them how they can like, maybe they want to quit their job and do something new or a new venture, or just getting healthy for the people out there that teach people how to be fit. And like, think about like that, put yourself there, and then it'll help you. So you're not just like, you're busy, you're going to just crank out content sometimes, but have a pause and like, remember why you're doing this thing. And that it's not just for the money, hopefully, that it's not just for virality and to have a big audience, but that it's honestly at the end of the day about the individuals that are in your community that you're doing this for. And that you make money off of is great. And I love money. I want to make money. But there's humans that you're dealing with. And it's not just a piece of paper that you're getting. Like you're affecting other people. So I think it is good to be mindful of that.
Definitely. And we had Dominic here, and he said, set an intention for everything. Like everything, do with an intention, and it's going to multiply, and it's going to be like that vibration, the energy. It is real. I believe 1,000% it has to be. It is real. There's like studies of the mind and how when you start your morning, I can, I will, I am. Those two powerful words. Anything you put after I am, it becomes. And it's not that it's woo-woo and that you're not going to put the work. We put in the work, but we create that intention. I am successful at this. I am making a difference in people. I am inspiring. So just do a little side note. Shar and I met. At a crazy thing. It was spokesmodeling, and I always say, I have hot friends. I do have hot friends. And, you know, it's been amazing, our transformation, and I'm always so proud of you to see what you're doing. And, you know, coming here alone to Vegas, we both came here. This was a dream.
I know. That's crazy.
Crazy. And I got married. I've been a wife. I'm a mom and an entrepreneur. And I love this.
And I remember you telling me before you got married, before you even found the person, and you're like, I'm going to find them. And like literally within like 90 days, I think you found him. And I was like, man, girl, what are you doing? Because I have not found my person yet. And you made it seem so effortless. And I thought that was so cool about you, because the things that you did, that you manifested, felt like, we know they're not effortless, but the way that you like bubbled up in joy and energy about it made it feel like it was. And I thought that was so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And that's my gift. You know, I want to share that with others. Like, you know, I was at the gym today. They're like, why are you so happy? I was like, I wake up like this. Yeah, like makes my workout even better, you know, but it's just that energy. Like, I feel like people, we want what others have, but yet don't want to put in the work. Manifesting works. I always say this, but you got to put the work.
Agreed. I think there's this, like, we went through a phase where people weren't pushing the work part, and the manifesting was everything. And then people realized, oh, it's like nothing's changed. And they didn't take any steps. They were just hoping and wishing and praying and dreaming, but they weren't actually doing anything to get there. And what a disappointment when they figured it out, that like, hey, mindset's great, but you still have to do the work. It's just preparing you for the work. Mindset to me is just literally, it's just positioning yourself so you can receive and accept the opportunities when they come, but you still have to work for them. Yeah.
I see your life. It's pretty fabulous.
Working on it. Yeah.
That's right. I see you, Shar.
Yeah. I do love my life. But I had to create the life that I love, and it took a wake up call for me, realizing that it wasn't going to just land in my lap the way I'd hoped, on the path that I was on. And I had to make some major shifts in my life in order for that to happen. And I think about like what real entrepreneurship looks like. And for some, they're going like, you know, oh, I would never spend so much time on my work, like work-life balance. And I'm like, the biggest leaps in my life they didn't look balanced. They were me really grinding away for like 12 hours days for long periods of time, because I wanted to shortcut the time it would take to get there. And that will look different for everybody. But for the people who are out there grinding away and they're listening to the people who seem like they have it easy, going, it's work-life balance. I'm going to stop working at 3 hours and go. And I'm like, it's not everybody's reality. Some people have more people at home they have to worry about and take care of. And that's not a reality for them. And just figuring out what works for you. Your grind to somebody else may be too much, but it might be exactly what you need to get where you're going. And like, my grind was crazy. So anybody out there going, I'm not going to tell you that I had work-life balance.
Yeah, no.
I went to extremes.
Yes.
I went to an extreme to a point where I said, I've reached my limit. I got to where I wanted to go, and now I need to adjust. And I adjusted. Reached my limit, got to where I wanted to go, and then I had to adjust. Now I'm in a place where I've created more boundaries, and I need more time to myself than I did during those phases where I really pressed myself hard. But that just happened this year, like this in the last few months, where I go, I've reached my limit. Now I need to figure out, because for me right now, having time in the evenings is so important. I work out every day. That's so important. Having a social life is very important to me. But if you're just starting out, you may not get to have all of those things right away, but you should take pauses, because you're not promised tomorrow. And I always tell people this you need to find out for yourself, because you might be a 26-year-old grinding away thinking, I'll just pay my dues for the next 3 years and do nothing but work. And you may not live to be 27. So for you, those 3 years that you would have grinded away wouldn't matter. So finding your balance for you is making sure that you're loving your life while you're on your journey. And if not, what do you need to adjust so you're happy on when you're on your way there, whatever there is, that destination, because there is today. Whether you've reached it or not, life is happening today, and we aren't promised tomorrow. And it really made me like go, I need to make sure that I'm loving my life every day. Now, would I go backwards and do that grind again? Probably not to that extreme, but I would take phases where I like committed to it for maybe like 7 days. I'm going to hammer this out, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a breather, you know? And I appreciate people who go, I may not get there as fast because this is more important to me. Having time with my significant other, my husband and my children is more important. So I may not get there as quickly as the other person out there, but I'm enjoying the journey there. So important. So important. So figuring out your grind is really an individual thing.
And it's interesting because you are a boss babe. You are this woman that's an entrepreneur, and you're with your soulmate.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
I think so. Yeah, I do. I make time for him. I think it's so, somehow the balance is there that I make time. I find time. You just find time.
Exactly.
You learn to say no.
Yes.
You learn to say no to people and say yes to the things that you want more. And it's it's empowering when you do, because you can be a slave to everybody else, like trying to keep people pleasing. If you're a slave to people pleasing, then you'll always feel like you're drained and trying to keep up when you don't really want to keep up. And I think it's just important to trim the fat, you know, like what really matters to you.
That is key. People pleasing. Say no. It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with Jordan Peterson. It was so amazing. He was talking about.
Oh, he was just here in Vegas.
Yes,
right?
I was just there.
I had a friend that went to that.
It was amazing. He was talking about the ladder to success. And when you reach a ladder to success, you're going up. He asked his 5-year-old, where's up?
Yeah.
Arriba o para abajo?
Yeah.
I say para arriba, up. Down, it's a spiral. Hell, there's levels to hell. At the bottom of the pit is betrayal. Because what do we want most? We want love. And when we feel that person that we trust betrayed us, it can be hell. Or it is hell. So loving a relationship with God, having that in your life, it's been important to me, and I know that to you as well.
Oh, it is very important.
So having God first, knowing who you are, it's like that awakening that you feel, knowing that we're all going to that place of, we all want to go to the top, you know, and it's different for every single one of us. What might be your up is not my up.
Right.
Right? But how important is love, right? Has it helped you?
Yeah, I think it stabilized me in a sense that it gave me a sense of calm without, like, dating's crazy. I don't.
So dating is crazy.
Dating's crazy. I don't wish to go back into that world. And I don't think it's terrible. And I think if you're single out there, I think you don't want to go into it going like, dating's awful either, because then you keep manifesting the same situations. It's just, you need to be maybe pickier about who you accept the date from. And it just, you can't control that either. Like, you know, whether it's going to take 10 dates to get to meet the right person, or 100. But for me, it's been powerful. I think choosing somebody who fits into your lifestyle is important, where you, not that they fit into yours, but that you complement each other. And it makes sure that you have like the same values. It's like really simple stuff that we forget. We get so excited about somebody because they tick off a couple of boxes, and then we forget the stuff sometimes that really, really matters. And then just again, everybody's in a hurry to know if it's right in the beginning, and they don't take the time to get to know somebody to see if it is like really, really is right for them. And this whole rush for everything, it just makes people jump into relationships too quickly that aren't good for them, or jump out of relationships that maybe that could have been mended, and then just like pick it. I don't know. Like, I always feel like this sense of rush from people, and I always like push back on that a little bit of like the slow down has helped me make better decisions. And I mean, like, of course, full speed ahead on the things you want, but like, it doesn't always like happen overnight, man. It's like it's an investment in dating too.
Yes.
Just
And my husband always says, alpha men love docile. How do you say that word? Docile?
Docile.
Okay,
women?
so
Docile?
alpha men love docile women. Is that true, Shar?
Oh, man. You know what my client is like. Maybe I should pull Michael on here to have this conversation.
Let's bring
No, just
Michael
kidding.
on here. Okay.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I just know my experience, and I'm not here to dip into other
No,
relationships.
no. Us. That we're entrepreneurs, we're fiery women, we're boss ladies. But do we switch it off when we go home?
Oh, I mean, yeah, for us, yeah. Maybe for somebody else, they like that. I don't know, but for a bit, I embrace being a woman fully,
Yes.
and I know that the roles are changing, what people think, but I'm talking about traditional,
Yes.
like a bit where I like having my door open. I really appreciate things like that. Having somebody like get me flowers and all the things that like are simple, but like acts of like love and kindness, I still appreciate. And I remember when Miley Cyrus came out with that song, I Can Buy Myself Flowers. And me and Jeremy had a joke, and I was like, I will never sing that song. You can buy me flowers any day, and I'll appreciate it. I will never sing that song.
Yes.
And of course, she went through like a bad divorce or whatever. But and I'm not there to judge that. It's just that for me, like I appreciate those things, and I think women and the masculine energies are really, really high right now, and it's pretty high for me. I'm over an entire male team, but I'm so in my feminine too.
Yeah.
And I turn it off. As soon as I'm off with my like businesses that I'm working with, then I'm back to like Shar that my girlfriends get or that Jeremy gets is a little different. And I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a very softer.
Yes.
Because I'm not in my head just trying to like plan and execute. I'm kind of like they get a different side of me a bit. And so I do show that side a little bit with people, just because I care about my team members so much. But I still think that like this whole idea that women need to be like firm and all the time sometimes can harm the relationships that they really long for.
Yeah, absolutely. I have this conversation with my husband, with my daughter. She's 10 and she's like, I want my fantasy wedding. Go for it. I said, dream big. I believe in love. I believe in that stuff. And yes, I'm going to be a super woman and I'm going to be this. But I know my place with my husband. I let him do. He's the man.
I love that.
Right?
I have no problem with that too.
Yeah.
And like, I have no problem as like a female. People are like, oh, it's so tough as a female. And I'm like, oh man, it's been so good for me as a woman entrepreneur. It doesn't even occur to me that in my business world that I'm a woman.
Yep.
I don't even think about it at all.
Yeah.
But at home, in my relationship, I'm a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like I think about it then. And it's so crazy to me just because, and I'm grateful for that because it's created so much ease into my life, knowing like I didn't have to like be something I wasn't all the time, or just I had to be firm in order to be a powerful woman all the time. I don't feel that need. I have like different sides of me, and I just think of like with each year you learn more. Maybe the Shar in her early 20s was not like the person that would have, and I was like, I want to like Angelina Jolie with everything, like, but that's not the energy I have anymore at all.
So it's all about that energy, that feminine energy, feeling sexy, getting yourself done up, doing your makeup, getting your nails pampered. We like that. We like to feel sexy.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry to my team. They're like, they see me in a baseball hat and a hoodie every day because I ain't got time. But in my defense, my meetings start at 6:30 in the morning. So I'm not waking up, putting on makeup. I'm just not going to do it. But whenever I have a chance to go out and be social and I have excuse to wear heels, I'm going to wear the highest stilettos, and I'm not complaining. Give me the stilettos. I love them. I love dressing up. I love how it makes me feel. And some people, they're like, clothes and stuff don't matter. And I'm like, well, it may not matter. Okay, it doesn't matter to you, but for some of us, it makes them feel more powerful, and it puts you in the energy because you feel really put together.
Yes.
And look at how people respond to you. Tell me, you walk into a room and you're in like sweats and you're kind of messy and put together. And then walk in as a man in like a full-blown suit and see how people react to you. You can complain about it all you want. Quit complaining about things you can't change and embrace it and use it as a powerful tool.
Yes.
I always think that. Like people are like, always want to push back. I always want to push that back on how people think. But really, you can use everything as tools and power, including social media, clothing, whatever it is.
So get like a signature look or like a feel. It doesn't have to be expensive. I love to shop on Amazon.
Yeah,
like
me too.
Yeah, like Amazon, Fashion Nova, we're throwing them out there.
Yeah.
As long as, like my husband always tells me, ladies, don't worry about your purse. Like guys don't look at that.
Yeah.
Girls look at purses.
I was like, which brand did I bring? Okay.
Yeah. But my husband's always saying, like, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, look good. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, I hate that. Like, you don't have to wear designer clothes yet. You're not there yet. But if you're getting started, like, dress good, feel good, walk
Men
in
too.
the room.
Yeah,
Men
and women.
too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I I agree.
I think it opens up doors.
Yes.
So rather than fighting it, watch what the doors it could open too.
You're not Steve Jobs yet. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know he wore a t-shirt every day. I know Zuckerberg wears the same outfit. Yeah, we're not there yet, okay? So we're starting. And like you said, you open that portal of like, I feel good, I smell good. You know, people walk in, like I always have my signature scent, and like, oh, what is that? I was like, it smells good, right? Yeah, because you want to leave traces of who you are, and that impacts people. I always have this to say. It's not what you say, it's how you make people feel.
True. I'm in.
So how do you dress? Why? Because that shows me that you care.
I think it primes your audience to listen and be receptive to what you're going to say.
Yes, these are the senses. And like, if you realize that everything's psychology, the cell, the social media, the colors, the way it makes you feel, the ambience that we're creating, this is all nonverbal cues. Okay, when you adapt those emotions into your business and you sit there and you listen with a good intention, though. We're not using manipulation. And use your feminine, how God made us to be women, beautiful and how we are, and we're sexy and we're everything we desire to be. But first, like you said, you have to feel it. And you embrace that.
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah.
it may look different to everybody, but I'm telling you, if you feel put together, whatever that is for you, it'll show. You'll exude that.
Yes. I'm going to say it in Spanish because we might translate this. Arréglense, pónganse bonitas, quiéranse, ámanse y van a ver las puertas que abren. Okay, thank you, Shar. Okay, I just said, get ready, dress up, love yourself, and see the doors that's going to open.
I love that.
Yes, thank you, Shar.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to share before we close up?
Just if you are interested in my personal brand launch program, you know where to find me. I think they're going to share my social media handle.
Yes.
Message me to apply. And then Reels Revolution is coming out this month.
I can't wait. Reels Revolution.
Yeah.
All right, so how important is video? Because I know I heard something about video is more important than pictures. Is that true?
It's more engaging,
Okay.
flat out.
Flat out.
It's easier to engage with your audience talking to somebody than it is to share a picture. Now, we could go down that tunnel, but we'll keep it short today.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
you can repurpose your videos and turn them into captions for your pictures. You can take your captions from your pictures and turn them into reels. And it's really just a way to repurpose content for different types of viewers.
She just can't stop dropping gems. You're like a hack queen. I know. Follow her. She'll give you all these tips because
Yeah.
we all need help.
Yeah, I agree.
literally, we all need help. And the algorithm and all that stuff goes by so fast with the technology.
Yeah.
So we need people like Shar that are still human, not a bot, not a robot. And learn from her and follow her for more tips. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you.
We appreciate you. We love you. Thank
I
you.
love you.
Love you, Shar. Thank you. Okay.